Hi everybody, this is Dr. Whipple and I'm here today to talk to you about paper number 3. This is paper number 3 for the summer pre-medical, pre-dental, pre-matric, post-baccalaureate writing class. Paper number 3 is going to be another review paper. However, instead of reviewing an article, you're going to be reviewing the book. Specifically, you're going to be reviewing the novel The Prisoner of Zenda, which we've been looking at over the last 2 weeks. Your assignment for Prisoner of Zenda is to choose at least 3 criteria, those things by which you judge something. 3 criteria by which you will judge the book. Okay? We've talked about criteria in class before. We've talked about criteria for film. We've also talked about criteria for the Snowfall article. But to review, things like plot, substance, wording, flow, characters, drama, message, etc. Those are things that you can use as criteria for viewing a book. For reviewing a book, rather. So, your assignment is to choose at least 3 criteria and review the book according to those 3 criteria. Those criteria need not all be positive. They can be a mix of positive, negative, or sort of meh. So, for example, you might say that the language is a little too formal, too stilted, but the characterization is great, and the message is about an 8 out of 10, okay, or a 4 out of 5, or however you want to say that, okay. You need to have an introduction that introduces and gives a preview of your overall evaluation. You need to have the 3 body sections. By the way, section means section. A section can have more than 1 paragraph. So you could, for example, if you have 2 examples for your criterion, you can have a paragraph for each example. So you have your 3 sections. Each section has a criterion that you deliver your analysis in. And then you have a conclusion that again summarizes your final, your conclusion, your final analysis, sums up, gives your overall impression of the book, and then exits the reader back into the world that she or he left when she began reading your review. Okay, so that is it, a review of The Prisoner of Zenda. This paper needs to be about 4 to 5 pages long. I'm expecting significant discussion and significant examples. When you quote from the book, and you're going to be quoting from the book, you need to provide the quotation in quotation marks. Since you're using most of you are using the e-version, the electronic version of the book, you need to give you need not give a page number, okay? Since you're using the same book and a single book, all you need to do is provide the quotation in quotation marks, okay? I am not expecting, nor do I want you to use outside sources for this paper, so do not look at other reviews of this paper. Don't go to SparkNotes or anything like that. I want this to be completely your own ideas, your own conclusions, your own feelings about the book. Do not be afraid to give a non-positive review. But if you give a non-positive review for anything, for any example you give, for any assertion you make, you need to provide backup. You need to provide examples. So in each criterion section, I'm looking for your assertion of the value of that criterion, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, 8, number 7 on a scale of 1 to 10, whatever. And then I'm looking for you to provide an example of that criterion, an example of that element. And then I'm looking for you to explain why this example proves the point that you're trying to do. Why the quotation X, for example, proves that Rupert of Hentzau is a really terrible person, and that this therefore is an example of good characterization. Why is this characterization of Rupert of Hentzau good? Why is it, what makes it good? You're going to have to go into detail. You're going to have to do the nitty-gritty digging within the language. So simply to say that this quotation proves X is not enough. what you really need to do is to look at the specific words and say how these words have an impact on the reader and how that therefore proves the point that you're trying to make. Okay? So I'm looking for, to recap, I'm looking for introduction of assertion, example, and then explanation of how that example proves the point that you're trying to make. Okay, the example does need to be directly from the text, and I'll recap. I am looking for you to provide multiple quotations. In answer to how many examples you need per criterion section, I'd say at least 2. Okay, 1 gives us a hint, 2 gives us a more fullness of explanation, gives us the idea that you've really done your homework and really paid attention to the book and are really interested, more importantly, that you're really interested in providing analysis to the reader. It gives the reader a better feeling of the trustworthiness and the fullness of your work. Okay? Thank you for listening to this video explanation of your assignment for paper number 3. It is due on the last day of our class, which is Thursday, July 9th. You'll turn it in during at the beginning of class, and then we will have a written in-class exercise. That'll be actually paper 4, and then that will end the class. All right. We will talk. I would like you to bring a draft of this paper to class on Tuesday. It can be a partial draft. It can be 1 or maybe 2 of your criteria. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. But I want you to bring it to class, and I want you to bring it with 3 printed copies. Okay, so bring 3 printed copies to class on Tuesday, July 7th. All right, so to recap, paper number 3 is a review of Prisoner of Zenda. On Tuesday, July 7th, I want you to bring 3 printed copies of your draft in progress. And on Thursday, July 9th, I want you to bring I want you to have emailed me, or actually turned it in on Blue Line. Turn in the final version on Blue Line by the beginning of class, which is, of course, 12 noon. All right? If you have any questions, you know my email, you know my office phone, you know how to get in touch with me. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. If you want to email me over the weekend, if you want to email me bits and pieces of it, that is fine too. All right, I'll be happy to look at them and comment on it and respond to you via email. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great day, great holiday weekend. Look forward to seeing you in class today and in class on Tuesday. Bye-bye.